Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and I have a lovely package of Happy Mail from my friend Robyn, who spoils me horribly, Robyn. It's bad. I thank you so much. You're very kind. So we're going to open it and see what Robyn has done. She's very naughty. I don't think Robyn understands the size of my craft area. I'm like literally practically walking on stuff. Okay, let's see. Tape. Alright. Okay. Oh my gosh, she did not. This was supposed to be my Christmas present from my husband. I was waiting patiently till Christmas. You're so bad. It's a guillotine trimmer, which is what I was saying I needed the other day so I could stop tearing my paper, because guillotines work better for that than the, you know, the sliding cutters. Thank you so much. You are just naughty. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Yeah, I was going to tell him to get me one because I just feel bad buying stuff, you know. I mean, I need it, but I don't need it kind of thing. I don't have to have it to live. So I usually wait for gifts for this kind of stuff. Thank you so much. That was so kind of you. I'm very excited because, as I said, I'm kind of tired of tearing the paper. I'm trying not to get so close to the camera that you guys are like blinded here. So I have to look at this. Oh, that's the handle. Got it. And I'm going to pull this out over here a little bit so that I'm not right up your nose, right? Awesome. Thank you so much. That is super cool. I'm very excited because I just have a little teeny one that, like I told you guys, I've had forever and ever. And it works great for pictures and smaller pieces, but obviously like 12 by 12 paper or that type of thing doesn't work. There must be a lock on it. And there is. Probably help if I read directions, right? Who does that? That's just weird. I might have to because I can't get that out. I wonder if you take that off once it's... I don't know. I'll read directions. I'll be a good girl and read directions. So let's see what this go on there. Okay, I'm going to mess something up. So I'm going to go off camera and I will put that together after I read the instructions. But thank you so much, Robyn. That was so nice. And I will be right back and we'll make something fun. Talk to you in a minute. Okay, so I got it all put together, and this is actually much later after I played with this. I got sidetracked, but anyway, I'll show you guys how to do this, or you know, how great this works. It's just like I hardly have to even push it down, and it cuts nice and straight on a book page, which is just what I wanted. So thank you so much, Robyn. That was so kind of you. It's fabulous. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So I thought what we could play with is this stuff. And this is going to kind of be a design team project for Ali the Cockney Crafter. And I got this idea from Tracy Fox. I watched her do some ephemera stuff. I don't need the cats right now. And she printed it on that newsprint paper, and I didn't have any of that, but I had something very similar, which they were pages that we used to tear out of the back of what we call decodable books, and I don't know how many places have decodables, but anyway, they're little reading books for kids, and they're made out of basically that newsprint type paper. And in the front and back, there's the plain pages with no writing or anything on them. So the school usually just, you know, puts them in the recycle bin. So I took them, and that's what I printed on, because it's basically the same. It's just not as wide as a regular piece of paper, but you can order that newsprint type paper on Amazon, I believe. I was going to look that up and then I forgot to do that, but it's essentially kind of the same paper as this that you can buy to wrap stuff in. I tried cutting this, but that's kind of a pain because of the ridges, and I don't think it would have gone through my printer. So my best advice would be to just find some of that newsprint paper if you want this effect. And you can probably get it at like Staples and places like that. I think that's even what Tracy Fox said. So, and that you can get it at office supply places. So anyway, long story short, it just makes these receipts and things like this feel a little bit more old or authentic, you know, instead of on a thicker paper. They have that feel, even though like this one's pink on this side and not on this side. But I don't know. I think it's a great way to do it. And I tore these using my metal ruler, and that seemed to give me a really cool sort of feathery effect. And I know when Tracy Fox was doing her video on it, she was kind of doing that trick, you know, like with she had littler scissors, but the open scissors where you kind of go along and do this. And then she would also kind of take little snips out of it. So that's another way that you can do it to give it the aged look, but it does definitely give them more of that feeling like vintage receipts. So, and this is called Papers Past from Ali the Cockney Crafter, and I will put a link to her Etsy shop and her YouTube channel. But yeah, these are great pieces that Ali has in this Papers Past digi, so they're super fun with like the old stamps and just receipts and things. So another little thing I wanted to show you, we'll play with that in just a second. My sister gave me this stuff that's really cool. It's, I think it's for like produce, you know, to sit on so it doesn't get bruised. And then she gave me envelopes. That's just a piece that I had because I have something I was going to do. But I have these old, I don't know what you call it. It's like vellum or tracing paper or all those kind of things. Glassine, that kind of thing. Or even an onion skin type paper. I have a couple like that, but I never want to use them because these are all naturally aged. And they're not, you know, I didn't do anything to these. So I kind of just been holding on to them because I don't want to use them. But I figured out today a little thing that you can do, which I was going to show you guys because it's easier than coffee dyeing and all that. I did this to a brand new one, and I think that looks pretty authentic. So these are just Glassine envelopes. This one I think I was sent in Happy Mail, but I ordered this size off of Amazon, and I'll try to remember to link those. And you can get all different sizes. This particular one I believe was a Happy Mail one, and it's a little glossier than the ones I have, so I'm not sure if it's going to work on those ones, but it worked on this, so I'll just show you the technique so you at least know how I got that effect. And it's really easy, and you may have already done it yourself at some point, but if you haven't, here's an idea. So I'm using the archival ink because if I use my distress ink, it rubs off a lot easier, or if, you know, for any reason it'll rub off. This is waterproof and it's permanent, so that's why I decided to use this, and mine is coffee. So I just took it, and I mean, obviously this is nothing earth-shaking, but I think it turns out pretty cool. I did this all over it. And this just has a million different inks on it, and then you just are wiping it off. So see, this will kind of wipe off, but the distress ink wipes off almost completely, so this is why the permanent, it's a little bit better. And then if you need a little more somewhere, you know, you can add a little more. So just use whatever. You could even just use a rag or whatever if you didn't have a sponge. Yeah, it works pretty good with this too. I wasn't sure because these are like two different kinds of glassine envelopes, and they feel a little different. So that's how I did the one side, and then I did the same thing on the other side, but I had the flap closed. I always get caught on those little edges. Sometimes you have to kind of glue them down again. And the reason I liked this a little bit more than coffee dyeing, because you can definitely coffee dye these too. Oh, I'm using the black side. I'm like, why am I getting black here? Is because it doesn't change the texture of this glassine at all, which I kind of, you know, for this particular thing, like that. I like how the coffee makes it crinkly, but to get that effect like those library pocket books, I didn't want, you know, I didn't want it like that. I didn't want it all wrinkly. And when you open it, it leaves that mark, which if it was aged, it would have that kind of a mark. But I didn't want it white. I wanted it at least a little colored, but I do want to see that edge. So I went ahead and did it, but a lot lighter. I can get a hold of it. So you still get the edge, but it still gives you the aged look. Just kind of want to blend those edges together a little bit and get a little bit on the inside flap too. Just not quite as dark as what you get on the outside. And this isn't the best sponge. Okay. The black's coming off my fingers. So yeah, it's all over my fingers. But yeah, so this is the effect that you'll get. I think that's really cool how that comes out. So that's just a fun little way to do those and give them that aged look. Get all this goop off my hands. I'm wondering if you even took like, we'll try it on a glassine pocket real quick and use just a dry baby wipe. Let's see if that works better. I have my, this one's wet too. I have my sponge, but I didn't really want to use it because it's my distressed sponge. I guess it's not really going to change it or affect it that much. Shoved back to the back, so we'll try it with that and see how that works. And these even feel different than both of those other ones, so it's just, I don't know, for some reason different companies have a different texture. You could do it on, like, make your own bags and things too, and do the, yeah, see, this particular bag doesn't wipe off as smoothly as the other ones. I'm thinking wax paper would work the best because it would be the closest to this kind of an effect, because these are a little bit like too matte of a finish on these bags. I mean, it's still giving you a distressed look. I wonder if we use the wet. Sorry. That changes it. Nope, because it's the permanent. So yeah, I don't love the way that one came out, but that's just the type of glassine. This one isn't quite as shiny. Like I said, I think these super shiny ones are the best. But these ones that I get at Amazon are pretty close too. This is just a thinner version, so I think that using wax paper would work. Let me get a piece of wax paper. and we'll just try it on a little piece. Because that feels the closest to that envelope. And then you could make envelopes or anything. You could make big ones like that one out of that old book. Let's use this. It even kind of has that old tape look, so you could take, you know, a piece of that and use it like tape, like old tape. Especially when you tear it on the edge with the perforated edge of the cutter, the wax paper cutter. Yeah, this really does work the best, the wax paper. See, that gives you that really old. I mean, that's pretty close. This one is more of a matte, like vellum, but I think this looks really cool. And that's super easy. You don't have to mess with a whole lot of anything to get that effect, which is nice, because some projects and dyeing of paper gets to be like, or if you just want it now, you can do it and you don't have to worry about, you know, waiting for it to dry or whatever. So we will play with some of these cool things of Ali's, and then I may use one of those envelopes too. I don't know exactly what I'm going to use. I do know I'm going to use this in this envelope, but I'm not sure how I want to do it. I'm going to go ahead and take these pages off here. Use them for collaging on or something. Okay, so I have this envelope from my sister, and I'm just going to use the bottom half because I'm going to take this piece from Ali. And I know this is kind of silly to print this on this thin paper and then put it on another piece to make it thicker, but I just love the feel of this because it really does have that older feeling. So we're going to cut this down, this envelope down, and kind of make it a, you know, flip to go in a pocket. Got too many things here in the way. So I'm not totally used to this yet, so you're gonna have to bear with me until I get used to it. So this is about 4.5. So, oh, that wasn't 4.5. What am I doing? Was it? Yeah, it was. I need to cut this end. Yeesh. So 4.5. We're actually going to go a little bit more so I can cut the end off the envelope. This at 4.5. So I still have this piece that I can use for, you know, whatever I want with the window in it. But now we have our little kind of booklet thing. And it'll strengthen our little book here. This, I did not fold that very well, did I? I think it's a little uneven, which, see, definitely is possible, but we'll fix that. What did I say? 2 and almost 3. Okay, so we have our little deal like that. Right on here to make a little booklet. So I hope you guys are doing good today. Sorry I didn't say that already. Just been one of those days. Busy, busy, busy. Don't have a whole lot going on as far as, you know, anything exciting. Just getting some stuff for my husband's birthday. Because we're going to have a little get together for him this weekend. Well, it's really just us, and then we're going to go to brunch with my mother and father-in-law, but I'm going to make him a nice dinner. His favorite is clam linguine, so that's what we're having. Oh my goodness. Now this might be a bugaboo because this paper is so thin. It's a tiny bit bigger, but I knew that one edge wasn't quite right. So, and then there's these little parts that come in, so I'm going to snip those out too. And wherever it's hanging off the edge. But using this kind of the newspaper print paper that's nice and thin, it doesn't add a lot of bulk to pieces, which is really nice. And it does give you that more of a vintagey feeling. Yeah, I really like these pieces. And I have played with this one before. This must be my favorite one or something, but it's just a fun little booklet to use for our journals because it fits in a pocket really nice. My goodness, I cannot do this today. Okay. And I kind of don't want this, so if I can get rid of this, I am going to, because it's just adding thickness that I don't need, and a ledge, you know, that makes it hard to write, because we're going to cover this anyway. So that's that, and I think I'm going to use that Manila paper, the drawing paper, because it's got a nice smooth feeling too. So we're just going to put glue on this. I should have done that before I trimmed it out, because now I'm going to have to trim it out again. Oh boy. Will it fit there? No. It'll fit up over here though. I liked that little design inside of that, but for this I don't really want that color. So now this is obviously thickened up quite a bit compared to that paper all by itself, the newsprint paper, but you know, we tend to do this layering thing. So I'm actually going to try to rip it with my metal ruler. This way you're just not getting quite as much thickness. So. This edge, I'm not going to be able to do that. I might be able to do this one. Make sure those edges are stuck real good. So hopefully they don't lift. Luckily these thinner papers tend to tear easily. Do the same thing with this one. Yeah, I like this metal ruler because it's just gives it kind of a feathery effect, which is nice. Okay, that bottom edge I'm probably gonna have to cut because that little, it's just so thin. There's no real way not to. Like how many times to cut the same thing here. Okay, and then it needs ink. That little corner needs to come off. Let's use that one. The points off of those. Yeah, the feel of that is really cool. So let's see if we can get it folded in half again. Or it's not really half. It's sort of a weird where these are lining up anyway. And you kind of want those to line up because that's what gives it the right look. So I'll just probably have to trim some of it a little bit. And look at this, isn't that amazing? There's that much. And I really kind of want that torn edge. I wonder if I can do that. I'm going to actually put a little line so that I can see. That's the problem with the metal ruler. Why I like the other one better is because you can't see through the metal, obviously. And you can get these metal rulers at the dollar store. So that's a nice thing about those, or at least our dollar store. But I got a Dollar Tree, so if that helps. Push hard on that roller. Okay, did it. I'll have to round that edge a little again. Okay. I added more ink to my ink pad. I finally got it, so it's working better again. Yeah, that feels, I mean, it looks pretty good, pretty convincing for I was going to use a different pair of scissors. I think I'll just use these. Rough it up just a little bit more around the edge. Yeah, so that was a brilliant idea, Tracy put it on the newsprint. The newsprint works great because it's so thin, but it really gives you that look. And then I love the feel of this paper too. Oopsie. Get this out of the way. And then what I was thinking you could do is put a tin bolts. I'm always looking for ideas for these. Look at this guy. I might have to use that one. He's just cool. Because it's its identification card, right? And I really don't know what's inside of these. I have no idea. So I'm just playing around, basically. I don't know if they would be able to wear hats or not, but I cut into that one quite a bit. See if I could find, how did I do this? There they are. My old rusty bits. Okay, let's see. I was going to do something with my cat stuff, but I've gone another direction because that's what I do. So this is just corrugated cardboard. And I want to see how dark this is first. Not very dark at all. Okay. Sorry, I'm shaking the whole thing. And it's just kind of about winging it, basically, because there we go, that worked pretty good. And on the other side, I'm just going to do portion. So I'm probably going to have to ink this part down here in order to get it going the right way. Okay. Put his picture here. Stuff is stuck to me. Drives me nuts. And I'm going to take can't find anything. There it is. My Tim Holtz handy dandy. I want it really light because I just want that illusion, right? Put this number 15 thing up over here. This part I'll have a little darker. Cat hair, imagine that. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of leave it like that because I want whoever gets this to be able to write, you know, something on there. So I think I'm gonna put him there. Come on, just a little something. I know you wouldn't have really anything, but I love the texture of this. Thanks, Meg. She's the best. She's always saving me goodies. I like this edge, so I want this edge out with the way it's all ripped and stuff. Yeah, somebody was saying that they had those tops and then their glitter glue still get clogged all the time, but it's so much easier with the rubber top on it. I'm wondering if you could fit that over that, but no. I just lose these stinking pins so easy. I mean, I have no idea why you'd have that in there, but you know, we're going to have it in there. I'm going to use one of these coin. These I got from the school when I worked there because they were going to throw them away because they didn't use them anymore. So I was like, I'll take them. Mini stamps. here, I'll just use this little one. I just want something else on there. And I have no idea how this is going to come out on this. Oh, it actually came out pretty darn good. And I know those little things got like the royal seal. It's just all randomness, so it doesn't really matter. Just for fun. Especially when you're winging it, right? Okay, so that's still a good journaling spot. And then, I don't know that I really, oh, I know what I was going to do. I want to use one of these and rough up the edges. You have to be really careful with this paper though, because it like just shreds easy. Another goodie from Robyn. Thank you, Robyn. These have been great. We're going to put a fold, not a straight fold, but a crooked fold. And then I'm going to put a real stamp on there. Tracy was doing that too, and it looked really cool, so I'm going to give that a try. Got one with the queen, but it's huge. I want a little one. That one's little. That one's kind of cool. Let's use that one. And this was the stamps from someplace entirely different. It looks like Greece, maybe? I have no idea. Okay, we'll ink that a bit. They just look kind of cool on that. I need... It's already got the partial circle on there. Cancellation, but we're going to put a little something more on there. Take a rusty paper clip. These are really getting funky. It's like the longer you leave them together, the weirder they get. I'm going to take this up here. So this could also be written on the back, and it's going to be kind of protected inside of there. And I'm going to put, yeah, I think I'm going to put the big side on the front. It even leaves rust on there. And it will leave rust there too, so. Okay, and then let's see, where did I put that? It'd be fun to put them in. Yeah. And then we're going to take a piece of this. I keep looking for my little scissors. I don't know what I did with them. And I like the serrated edge there. I don't have serration for the other edge, but we'll just tear it. Get a little bit more on the edges. Just so the edges catch some color. Except maybe this edge doesn't really want to. Oh, I just tore it some more. And it's going to be like the closure sort of thing, but I'm going to just put a little glue on this side. And since this is wanting to tear over here, I'm going to put it right up next to that. And try not to catch the edges of my envelope, obviously, right? I just want enough to kind of hold it closed. And I'm going to actually go ahead and squish this a little where that rip is. Pulling some of that glue out because I kind of got a lot. I'll show you closer here in just a second. Okay, so we've got just a little spot for that to go into so that it'll hold it closed. But it's not, you know, it's not really substantial, but either is the flap of the envelope, so I think it'll be fine. All right, and then it would be fun to do another stamp or something on the front of this. I don't really know what on earth would be mailed and anything like that, but it's fun. So let's see, what do we need? Oh, this is kind of cool. It's got this. That's really cool. It's like an embossed, it's not even a stamp. What else could I put on there? And these are stamps I got, again, if you don't know, from Art Vark. There's great stamps. Yeesh. So that's just a piece of that envelope. Sorry, this must be taking me a lot of concentration. Like dead silence. I have no idea what this is about, but it just looks neat. Okay. I'm going to take my archival ink. And clearly this is not an address, but I'm just want the names. Oh, I do that and then I get it on here and it won't come off. I want this right here. Okay, that's that. Like I said, I'm not really sure what it is, but all right. So yeah, just some fun little ideas. Yeah, I really like that newsprint, so that is super fun. So go on over and check out Ali the Cockney Crafter, and I'll leave the link in the description box if you haven't already. And that set of hers, the Papers Past, is super fun because I've played with it for a while. So we will chat again soon, and I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Bye-bye now.